Hello and good evening to the 12th episode of Utopian Open Source Radio. I am going to cut a bit the sound. It's a nice tune that Bucky exclusively wrote for this show. So I like to have it played in the background, but I think it's making me a bit crazy, so I'm going to turn it off. Thanks a lot, Bucky. You are not seeing my video. Oh, that's super bad. How's it now? Well, now means I just pushed the button and then... yeah, this is the magic world of OBS. OBS. Yeah, my cam is missing. And he was totally right. I forgot to push the button so that you can see my video stream. While talking about my video stream, I especially for today's show, I grabbed out my Kermit shirt. I have a Kermit shirt. Everybody should have a Kermit shirt, but I got a special one, and it's go green. I thought about making this green, maybe go away and go utopian or something like that. Maybe next time. And as a second. Let's say as a second doping for the show, I promised to have some Balmer's original cider. And it's already open, but it's still cool, so I can drink it throughout the show. We have had a not as lively discussion as I thought it would be about if it's possible to drink and have a radio show at the same time, if this is from a law perspective allowed.
Yes, it is. I've done it before. I don't remember, but I've done it before. It's possible.
Oh, perfect. So, obviously, Ilana. Welcome, Ilana, by the way. It's nice that you're around. Obviously, Ilana already tried to have this experiment of being drinking and driving a radio show. And it's working out, so I'm completely believing her. Just like always, got trust in you, Ilana. And we're going to try that as well. And thanks a lot for all the audience that has already 2 minutes into the show amassed in the Discord channel. As you all know, there are various ways to listen to this show and to see this show, even just like we had this discussion about seeing my video feed or not. You can listen or see this on Twitch directly with MSP Waves, twitch.com/MSP Waves. I don't know, Ron, is there a D-Live stream as well? There used to be, but I'm not super sure. But if you want to be taking part in the raffle, you have to be in here with us directly in the Discord on the MSP Waves Discord. Sorry for that. This is the perfect way to interact with all of us. You can directly type... and the raffle bot, as you can see, is already here. It's waiting just for the call to action. For this time in this show, we have had the pleasure to receive a call from Elia, wanting to talk with us directly about the new or the changes that we're going to see in Utopian. There was this, this event happening that Ned withdrew his delegations together with Mr. Delegation. For sure, he's going to talk about this and gives us a view into the future of Utopian. So we are going to have 3 guests tonight. Ilir as a special guest, and then we are going to have Erku around. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but this is something that will be the first question.
RG, you can call me RG.
You're already here. Perfect. It's RG. Perfect. Which will be then in the second part of the show and into the direction of the end, let's say 40 minutes of the show. We will have our third guest, which is Hilo, a long-time Utopian contributor and also did a contribution to OBS lately that has been merged into the main code, which is introducing DTube directly as an option for streaming, which is great for having directly within OBS. Woot woot, yeah. And hello to all of you, Diego and Nespoem, Icaro, yes, Dem Kioskiem, I try. Ismail that just joined, and Knowledge is Ron, Rebel, Roy, I don't know. SNWO Lab.
Raj. It's Raj.
It's Raj.
The man,
okay.
Main man Raj.
Perfect. Tenza and Taiki and everyone that's on the other possible listening ends that I sadly cannot see because I'm only checking here live on Discord. So this is going to be the highlights of the show. Just Ilya talking Utopian and Irku talking about his Hedi.io. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct.
Header.
Okay, it's Header.
Right.
Header.io, which is going to be, or which is the blockchain Wikipedia. Let's put it like this. We are for sure going to discuss this later on. And Hilo, for a lot of things, he's doing a lot of witness work as well, apart from being a fantastic developer and a long-time Utopian contributor, moderator, whatever. And then we have this famous Italian actor as well that is commenting on later on. And this is exactly Knowledge has just posted the link directly to Hede.io, which is going to, like I said, the blockchain Wikipedia. Okay, but we will have a start into the show with our beautiful Ilana and her fantastic open source news. There is a lot of things happening, no? Like with the big companies
there's always a lot of things happening, and there's always like the usual trifecta: Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. Actually, I don't think there's much by Google this week. They're kind of quiet and busy, which is good. But we have Apple, surprisingly, in the name of brands I'm going to mention today, because Apple's co-founder, Wozniak, whose name I really don't know how to pronounce, he discussed an involvement in a crypto startup because, a lot of old-time technologists are really suspicious about blockchain and they don't know how they feel about blockchain until they, sit down and read it and go, this kind of makes sense. And then many of them do join all sorts of initiatives. Now, in this case, the co-founder of Apple is involved with a blockchain company called Equi that is doing something. I'm not quite sure. Something that they have shares of stocks instead of currencies. In any case, they are probably going to be launching in November. To coincide with Malta's blockchain summit, so they might list it in Malta. So that's one interesting thing. Let me just paste that for you in the audience chat, so you don't think I decided to invent such a weird thing like Apple co-founder interested in blockchain. Interesting. It's like everybody's into blockchain now. I half expect my cats to start demanding I breed them with crypto kitties. Everybody's into blockchain. And there's an interesting discussion about a Facebook crypto bank and whether it's coming or whether it's going to actually happen. There are some very interesting rumors going on that like as of May, Facebook has had an internal team focusing on blockchain technologies. This has happened since May. Now, we don't know what they've done, but if Facebook launches a Facebook coin and airdrops it, can you think of the repercussions of such a thing?
Yeah,
I think it's insane. I think it would be crazy. Because if Facebook suddenly, if they created a currency, they already have millions of users. If they decided that games on Facebook and advertisers would get a discount for paying with the Facebook note. I kind of like calling it face note because not a book, a note, a face note. People would start paying with face notes for products, for advertising. If they got a discount for paying with face notes on advertising, everybody would be buying these face notes. So it's really, really interesting to keep an eye on this in case Facebook suddenly creates its own digital wallet to support other cryptocurrencies to be exchanged between users on Messenger or Facebook itself. It's really interesting if this is a thing that's going to happen.
I'm thinking about this for quite a long time, why they are not going that way, because they have a quite huge user base and they can do a lot of shit with that. They are already doing it, but in a totally different direction. So
I think they're scared. Because
for sure they don't need to, Bucky. It's clear.
They don't need to, of course, but they definitely want to. Justin Kioskim in the chat claims that there's no target audience for a Facebook coin. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Every Facebook user is a target audience for a Facebook coin. If they airdrop this now, let's say imaginary, they airdrop these coins on all the users by using some kind of algorithm to decide user value, like how many friends you got and how active you are, and just airdrop. Just one day you wake up in the morning and you have a Facebook wallet with money in it, and you can use this imaginary money to pay for services on Facebook, for advertising on Facebook, for not seeing ads on Facebook, for all sorts of stuff.
You could really make this huge, actually.
And people don't need to be exactly. You don't need to understand crypto. What Tensor's saying is right. You don't need to understand crypto. Yeah, of course I have a link for that, Bucky. You don't need to understand crypto. You don't need to know what Bitcoin is or anything. You wouldn't even have to sell it, because you could use it as a currency. Same as a lot of people are using PayPal. They pay somebody in PayPal, somebody pays them in PayPal, and the money never comes out of the PayPal system. So this is, I think, something that is interesting to keep an eye on, and I've been looking at it since May, when they announced that they're taking interest. Facebook, we have your data, now we have your money. No, not necessarily. Not if they airdrop it and it just gets value. They don't take your money. I mean, they do take advertisers' money, but you're the product. But they can give they can create a whole new economy.
Yeah,
and
that's quite true.
Facebook will never go fully open source. Some of Facebook's code is open source. The actual website will never ever be open source, and so no.
Yeah, most likely not. By the way, if I'm scrolling a bit up, I forgot to comment the picture of Steve Wozniak. Is it only me, or is he reminding me of some kind of Tolkien character like Bilbo Baggins or something like that?
Well,
there is a resemblance, isn't there?
I guess. I don't know.
This is kind of...
He looks like an old wizard.
Yeah, or like that.
He definitely has a wizardy... He needs some kind of a hat and a robe to or maybe be on Game of Thrones or something. He looks like somebody who would be on Game of Thrones.
If he would have a cool stuff made of old wood, it would perfectly fit him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to have just gone out of this Facebook thing, but this is really what he's reminding me definitely of some.
Yeah, exactly what Ron said. He should be cast by Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Totally, right?
Totally.
Or they should have him I think he should be a king on Game of Thrones. If we're having a flashback. We're talking about Steve Wozniak and what he looks
like. This picture up there that Ilana has posted, he's really looking like Peter Jackson-y thingy. Oh no, I said thingy again. Okay.
Well, at least it's thingy and not the other word you're trying to avoid, because we're pretending to be grown-ups.
What happens. Let's wait and see.
You're the one drinking. You're the one drinking.
I am. And you can see this live on air.
I'm actually still at tea. I'm still at the tea phase.
I
think I'll get to the booze. I'll get to the booze in the second hour. Right now, I'm still trying to be coherent.
Ballmer cider in the middle of Germany. This is really great. And I would like to greet the audience, by the way. Seco joined, and Crimson Clad joined, and Hey Sinter KR joined. Oh yeah, Grim joined. So sadly, all the raffles will go to Grim. And M1 joined. And Shaka joined, which is, I think, for the first time here. Hey, Shaka. And the rest, Taiki joined and Victor Frankenstein joined. So hello, all of you out there. And we're happy to have you as an audience to this great show. Sorry, Ilana. I just wanted to greet a bit, you know.
Meet and greet, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Do you want more news now, or do you want some more for later?
Since this is the first time that we're having 3 guests, my schedule is totally off. So we need to improvise this directly as we are going. Since Diego is already here and most likely able to speak directly. Oh, cool, meme. This is great. Meme. Is it meme in English? It's meme, most likely.
Meme. The word is meme.
Oh, yeah. Pronunciation, you know. With me, old German, this is quite complicated. Yeah, so Diego, I'm pulling you now to live on air, which means that most likely you are going to be live on air, except that you are muted. Not. Hey, Diego, I hope I didn't pull you out of...
Hey there,
something?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can, definitely. How are you doing?
I'm good. I finally have a very supposed to be fast connection, so I hope my voice is coming clear through.
It's coming clear, and your accent is as beautiful as ever.
Thank you so much.
Well, definitely. Wasn't it last show, Ilana? Please help me. Where someone said that only Diego can pronounce it correct.
Yeah, it was Amos.
Oh yeah,
that Diego. Yeah, I've been practicing. It's Amos. He's not here to hear it, but I'm saying it right.
Okay. Yeah. We are recording this, so Amos. I hope I'm saying it right. If he's listening to that later on, he can see that you have done it. Oh, he can hear that you've done it correctly. So, Diego, how are things on Utopian? What happened and where are we going to be?
Yeah, well, I think many of you have seen what happened yesterday, I guess. So, suddenly 2 million of the delegated Steam power we have from Ned and Mr. Delegation, so practically from Steemit Inc., went away without prior notice, and that of course was a bit scary. But the reason why the delegation went away is because Steemit Inc. is moving stakes between different accounts, and they had to undelegate to move the stake. So that's the official reason that I got from Ned directly. We are waiting for the delegation to be back, hopefully the full delegation or a good portion of it.
How are we going to, or how is Utopian and you going to act like in the next, I don't know, has Ned pronounced or announced a date?
Yeah, so he said the delegation should be back within a week. So what we are doing right now is trying to reduce the consumption of voting power, and that required to change quite a few things. First of all, we had to change how moderation rewards, the percentage dedicated to moderation rewards, and we also had to switch off the community manager rewards, because with the current delegation they are unsustainable, and we also had to reduce the voting power that we are reserving for external communities that we are supporting with the innovation trail, like Steam STEM, Steam Makers, Steam Post Italia, and others. So right now we are just facing the current situation by reducing the voting power consumption a little bit. As soon as the voting power recovers fully or partially, we will then update our systems again to increase the voting power. But contribution submissions, they are on, so everyone is still welcome to contribute. For sure, the rewards will be for this week lower than ever before. But we also know that many of the contributors that we have, they are not really in for the amount of the rewards, and they will definitely keep contributing this week anyways.
Yeah, so basically what happened is an inconvenience and maybe a little information missing, no?
Well, yeah, as I said, there was unfortunately no prior notice, which of course is always very welcome.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So we had to rush a little bit into changing our systems. We had been down for a few hours, but we were quick enough to get back to operation. So right now everything is working as expected.
Perfect. Since we're having you live on air, can you tell us what about the beta action or the beta users that we are having on our new front end? How are things going
absolutely.
there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are still in the process of finalizing the beta for a public release. So right now we got close members, I would say, going through what we have in the beta, that it's actually all the contributions flow. So submitting contributions, commenting, voting, browsing, but also some new functionalities that we didn't have in Utopian version 1, like the possibilities for projects to create their own page on Utopian and the possibility to interact with the contributions and contributors. We are still aiming to go live with a public release in less than 2 months. We're just making sure that everything works perfectly. On top of that, we are trying to make Utopian sustainable, whatever happens to the crypto market or whatever happens to the Steam blockchain. So we are trying to make Utopian blockchain agnostic, so that onboarding of new contributors will be much easier and straightforward, while also allowing project owners and contributors to get rewarded and to reward with a multitude of coins. Steam is, of course, a very important part of the entire thing. The entire social media functionalities are built using the Steam blockchain and will remain for the long term. But I believe that the most important thing that we're doing right now is turning Utopian from a concept to a real product. That will require some steps. We are already working on what I believe is the most crucial part on the community point of view. We are spending really a lot of time and energies into updating our guidelines to make them more consumable and easier for the end users to understand, while also separating public guidelines, community guidelines from moderation guidelines. This is to assure new contributors will be able to quickly understand what's the mission in Utopian and what they should do in order to get their incentives, while also, of course, simplifying the work process. These will require many steps. We are already quite advanced with the changes on the guidelines, and the next step will be the questionnaire. That's the way we use to assess quality and to score contributions, and we are on top of quite a great changes there as well.
Well, this sounds like a lot of changes, actually. Diego, so as always, Utopian has a lot of ideas, projects, little projects within the big project. So this really sounds amazing. Again, just to go a bit into talking with the audience, there is the question was, what other blockchain? I don't know if this was really super serious, but I think that we are not wanting to leave Steam at all. But on the other hand side, we need to broaden the view a bit. This is what I got. Is this correct? Diego?
Yeah, there is absolutely no will to leave the Steam blockchain in any way. What we are trying to do is to make Utopian working whatever what. So really making a business that works in real life. That's of course a very big mission. But for any business to work, it shouldn't never rely on a single blockchain in this case, or on a single entity. We see what happens when something is wrong by relying on a single entity. So, for example, delegation may go away without prior notice.
Yeah.
So
imagine this would happen, Diego. Imagine this would happen. Nobody would do that, would it? Nobody would do that without prior information.
Yeah, imagine that. So it's really important for Utopian to be a serious business and to really be ready for mass adoption, to be able to work whatever the delegation, whatever the coin. So
yeah, exactly. So it's more like broadening the view. It's like not like we are abandoning anything. Steam is the common ground that we have started on and that we still want to be on. This is what I understood. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but we just want to broaden the view and to have more like in Germany there's a saying like Eisen im Feuer, which means that you have more options, more possibilities to have revenue than just setting on or betting on just one option to work out. This is making super sense for a sensible and a new company that is really led in a sensible way into the future. So you can never just rely on one source of income. This is strange and should not be done. Risk.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also for the contributors, for them to have more ways to get their incentives, while also expanding the outreach of Utopian to other blockchains that maybe don't know anything about Steam, or users that don't have an account, and all these kind of things, which of course are barriers for mass adoption, right? So we are really trying to figure out how to make Utopian independent. That's very important. And probably the first step is the authentication system. That's probably the biggest change that we will see. In fact, Utopian will allow anyone with a GitHub account to join the system, to use the system, even if they don't have a Steam account. So they will be able to create a Steam account if they want to access the Steam incentives. So it's like a bit of cross-marketing, right? But allowing anyone with a GitHub account to get into the system, understand how the system works, without having to go through all the hassles of understanding the different tokens, the different dynamics, is of course a step towards mass adoption.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the way that we need to go with Utopian, and not only with Utopian, by the way. It would make sense for Steam or the Steam blockchain as well, but with Utopian we have more options. Like we can have more blockchains that we are using, more things that we are doing outside the Steam world, and this is what we need to do, definitely. So no stopping of things. It's just that we have for 1 week reduced voting power, or reduced power in our vote, which means that we are not voting with as much Steam units as we did before. Apart from this, we are still running our business, we are still moderating content, we are doing everything like before, no? Or did I understand something wrong?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything is working exactly as it worked before, just with a little bit of less voting power.
Well, that's life, you know?
Yeah, of course. But there are also great news coming, except from this, with this temporary issue. We just got the Quasar framework join Utopian and the Steam blockchain. Quasar, if you don't know, it's
that's true.
one
Yeah,
of the...
this would be the question. So what is Quasar doing? I know them, but why is this such a big deal? Explain it to us, please.
Yeah, of course. Well, Quasar is one of the most prominent Vue.js framework. Vue.js is a JavaScript library that it's much used. It's very, very popular. I would say as popular as React and Angular. Maybe they don't do the very same numbers right now, but it's getting more ground and more ground. And Quasar is definitely one of the most prominent, if not the most prominent framework built for Vue.js. It allows to create web applications that are working for easily for different devices, and also turning the code into something that resembles native mobile code thanks to the integration with Cordova, etc. So I'm not going to go too much deep into the technical details, but they are a very interesting and huge project, open source project with over 7,000 stars on GitHub and 700 forks. So they have lots of developers and lots of authors, and they're moving to they will to move their publications to the Steam blockchain, being supported via Utopian, and actually their very first post should come either today or tomorrow. That's a good news, simply because the many devs that were working with Vue.js and the Quasar framework will get to know about Steam, will start writing on Steam, and will bring many more developers to this platform, who at the end may decide to try out the Steam blockchain and build something on top of it.
Yeah, that's great. Really sounds cool. Vue.js is it's a new thing. It's the JavaScript dialect that you are now going to, or is this already over again? Or I'm not into that topic, so I'm quite curious.
Yeah, we are building Utopian version 2 with Vue.js and Quasar. Gregory, who is one of our main developers, got in touch with the guys from Quasar, talking about Utopian and what we're doing with the framework. And they were really amazed by what the Steam blockchain and Utopian can achieve. So they decided to just join the crew.
Yeah, well, that's perfect.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this project will open doors for many other relevant open source projects, who's opening doors for many awesome developers joining the Steam blockchain.
Yeah, because in the end, that's always
what we need.
Exactly, that's always what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring on more developers. Not only more developers. So if you are listening to this show and you now think, "Oh, I'm not a developer," they are not talking about me. I'm not important, and this is not true. We are talking about developers now, but it's more like contributors to open source software. There is a lot of contributions that can be done not being able to write code. On the other hand side, if you always wanted to be a developer, then there is a lot of sources, a lot of guidelines, a lot of help that Utopian already has and has supported, so that you can get there and you can ask questions and be whatever you want to be together with us and our support. So it's not just about developers. For sure they are, since we're an open source software show, they're quite important, but they are not, it's, if you're not a developer, you do not need to feel bad. You're having your own worth as well. Just because we are always talking about developers, Diego.
Yeah, well, developers are the ones who do the software, but an organization is not just about software. It requires many professions, and that's what Utopian is trying to achieve. If you go and look to some of our competitors like Gitcoin, they're really just focused on development, which is fine. But you will soon realize that open source projects need way more than that. They need graphics, they need content creators, they need translations, they need visibility, marketing, they need bug hunters, they need a lot of things. Utopian is the first attempt, the first experiment into creating a community of open source enthusiasts by allowing many professions to join together to make an open source project real. So
exactly, and this is our strength. It's not only about attracting developers that can hammer out code cool, but it's our strength to combine all these these arts that have to come together to make not a cool code, but to make a cool product.
Exactly. Quasar is also willing to do that. So they will not just post by themselves, but they're also looking for people to know the framework, to use the framework, and blogging about it. So if you are interested, just get in touch, and we'll make sure that you are engaged.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, Bucky is posting his seaweed chin. I really need to some taste of it. Sorry, this was just off topic, Diego. So anything else that you wanted to tell us? So I'm just getting things together. We are having a short issue with our voting power, but this is not a big issue since we have still, 100% vote of us is still worth, $100, something like that. So it's not like we are down to $1 a vote. And we are just having operations back to normal. So we're just doing like nothing happened. And after 7 days, at least this is what Ned said now, we will see at least some delegation coming in again. I don't know, and you don't know if it's going to be the full delegation that we had before or something less or whatever. So no big deal, not a really big deal. It's just a timely inconvenience. And on the other hand side, it made us think, and you think, and the management of Utopian think about where to go in the future, or how to have more possibilities to have some revenue to be able to support open source software, which is in the end what Utopian is all about. I hope exactly. I did somehow rephrase this in a short way that everybody knows what is happening. Ilana, you unmuted yourself. This normally means that you have something to say.
Yeah, actually what I wanted to say is that we got so much support yesterday while we were figuring out what's going on and what's going to be happening. We got contacted by different people and organizations on the blockchain who were like, how can we help? What can we do? We got a couple of small but very meaningful delegations from people who were like, okay, we really care about Utopian. We really wanted to keep going. So this is the little bit that we can do now. And we didn't ask for any of it. It's just kind of people got in touch with us and people just delegated. So it's wonderful to see. It's really, really wonderful to see that such support, like spontaneous support like that. Another thing that I think is very important to note, Utopian started out, and I think that this is something we've talked about before, Utopian started out as blockchain DApp rewarding open source contributions. We're changing a little bit. We're right now more focused on being a social platform, open source projects and contributors to find each other, and we try to facilitate and support that by also incentivizing the best of the best, and by guiding project owners and project developers on how they can interact with contributors and how they should write the task requests and all that. That's basically now what Utopian is. We're like Nokia, connecting people, except with open source and not Nokia.
Connecting people.
Yeah,
that didn't work out too well for Nokia, did it? Well, for a while it worked out
wonderfully for a while. They ruled the mobile market back in the day.
That's true.
But they were very, very late to the smartphone party. Everybody knows that. That's old story. Another Utopian thing that is really, really, really important to note is the hackathon, which will be happening in a month from today, minus 2 days. And it'll be both physically at the awesome villa in Italy where we'll be staying for our meetup, and it'll also be online. and the two of us, will be live streaming our radio show we will also be live streaming from the hackathon, and everybody should totally check it out. We're going to be publishing a lot more information about it.
Yeah, if you're looking now at the live stream of my video, which is sadly not on Discord, then you can see me making strange faces, because we definitely think that it might be possible to stream a live show, and I do promise that we are trying everything to have one, so like everything, but I cannot promise 100% that it's going to be there, because I don't know, we are in the middle of Italy in a villa, which we will try to make it work. I will take everything.
I'm gonna make it happen. I don't care how, but I'm just like, and I don't know. I'm gonna go up to the roof and like put up an antenna or something.
Exactly, and stand out there with the antenna waving.
Make that happen. Yeah.
Okay, so we will do everything possible to take this opportunity that Ilana and me can do a live show directly together, basically sharing a microphone. And yeah, oh yeah, Bucky, this is super sad. You're going to be in Newfoundland, wherever that is, and yeah, we will connect you, but you cannot share the microphone. This is a bad thing, and I'm sad now for a while. Yeah, exactly, crying big tears. So Diego, it was fun. Thanks a lot, Tenza, for being around. And Diego, thanks a lot for introducing or the information about Utopian and the things that have happened during the last days, which have been kind of rattling. Not really in the end, but I know that this made some impact on us all, which is good, because I think that we definitely need to think about how we can go on, or how we can broaden our view and the user base that we're currently having to go beyond Steam. Steam will be in the heart of it as always, but we need to go beyond that. So I'm definitely happy that you have been around, and now I think you said that contributors should contribute. They should not wait until a delegation from net is going to happen again, or from Mr. Delegation, or from somewhere else. They should just go and contribute like nothing has happened, and this is the same thing that we are going to do, and then let's see what's happening in 1 week. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you for having me here.
It was a pleasure, just like always. And we didn't even talk about your junior career as being professional actor, but this is something for later.
Yeah, please.
Okay, have a nice evening, Diego. Thanks a lot for being there.
Thank you guys.
Ilana, my dear, you got some open source things left to tell us before we are going.
Always, of course I do.
Always, of course you do. This is sounding like a bit British. Do you want to sound British?
No, it just occasionally happens.
Okay.
I don't have an accent of my own. It just kind of floats out there, adjusting to random brainwaves. I don't know. Sometimes it becomes British. Sometimes it's American. One time I got really, really drunk with an Irish guy. For a week, I couldn't understand what I was saying. So, other interesting news is Microsoft is releasing an open source driver module framework that can allow developers to share their code among different drivers to use on Windows devices. So that's kind of interesting. And Microsoft also open sourced its network replication software, which is it's enterprise, big business stuff. So I'm not going to go into too much information, but it's like big scale network management tools. So I'm gonna dump these here for those who are fans of Microsoft open source stuff. Another brand name that I'm used to hearing when totally unrelated to anything open source is Salesforce. Salesforce have a library that they use for building machine learning workflows on Spark, and it's called AutoML, I think, and they've also made that open source. It's like every brand is making its stuff open source because it's not because out of the kindness of their heart. It's because they want the community to do a lot of the work for them.
Yeah, well, obviously they are not just finding the good heart somewhere deep inside. It's that they are wanting to have something out of it. This is always just a business in the end. On the other hand side, this plays into our cards because a lot of things are open source now that have not been, 2 years ago, which makes it much easier to find out what they have been doing and to see if you can do something like that as well.
Oh yeah, there's an open source alternative for just about everything.
Yeah. So that's cool. Even if this is kind of a business talk that they are having or business thought, let's try to give this to open source and then let's see if they are going to make it better. This is just what's happening. But with Salesforce, this is really kind of this is a new move. I didn't think of that to happen.
There's literally no brands that are not using or promoting open source in one way or another. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And I think the next one is I like small things. It's I don't know. It's a weirdly weird trait of mine. I like when something is particularly small. I like it, like miniaturized versions of things. I love miniaturized versions of things for some reason. And so I thought it was really, really adorable. There is a tiny, tiny, tiny computer that can entirely fit in your USB port.
Oh, well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it is itty bitty. It is open source, of course. It's a microcontroller that runs at 25 megahertz. It supports 8 kilobytes of RAM and 60 kilobytes of flash on board. It has 2 LEDs and 2 touch buttons. And obviously, it's open source, and I just think it's adorable. It is.
Is there a link? Computer. Is there a link? I want to read. I want to click something.
Of course, there should be.
Ooh, well, that's tiny.
Itty bitty computer, look at how tiny it is.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I like tiny things.
Yeah, but this is really cool. That runs at 25 megahertz. Oh my. This is reminding me of my old 386.
Yeah, old computers.
Cool. 8 kilobyte of RAM. And whatever you can do with that, it's not too much.
Well, it's a start, I guess,
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Technology will probably allow for smaller components to be used, so...
Yeah,
gradually
definitely.
We'll be able to have
I do
tinier...
really... I love that things, It's really crazy how this miniaturization is going forward. Really great.
Next up is...
Oh, yeah, but before you're saying next up, keep the thought in your head because we're having a few slots for open source news later on.
Okay.
Bucky, you round. I wanted to raffle things, raffle, because Grim has left and now it's up to us.
Yes. Well, I'm here. Yes, and we can do a raffle.
Oh yeah, we can do a raffle.
Okay,
that's great.
The raffle is going to be 1 minute, so everybody will have 1 minute to take part when I say go. What you need to type in this week to win this raffle, and this raffle is a humble bundle.
No, he's saying again, humble bundle.
I told you all about the Humble Bundle.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so here's what you need to do. You have to write up what happened. What did Diego do when he first got the news about the change in delegation? You have 1 minute to type in. When you type in, you are included in the raffle. If you don't type anything in, you will not be included in the raffle. What did he do? Did he dance? Did he sing? Did he jump around? Did he throw his computer out the door? Did he say some words in Italian that we're not allowed to say on air?
Yeah. Or he ate some tacos, yeah.
Dropped his phone in the water. Ron got it.
It's funny because it's true.
Bought more pizza. I like it. Oh my.
Yeah, he
wasn't. He was on vacation then, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did fly back to Italy. This is insider knowledge. Yeah, the bad thing is you can only take part in the raffle if you're connected to us on Discord. Sadly, all other things are not working currently. So it's the last seconds.
He dropped the F-bomb. There you go. Hey, Fave Cow won. Didn't you win last week? You're on a roll.
Yeah, You're the new Grim.
I just wanted to say he's the new Grim. That's kind of ridiculous. Because I thought
congratulations.
There is only one Grim.
You will be a cybersecurity expert. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a humble bundle about the topic cybersecurity. So I don't know, it's 2 or 3 package softwares, applications that are included in this package. So you're going to be the perfect software security guy for Utopian then. Yeah, and you are really obviously the bot loves you, even if it has been broken by Victor and not by you.
Yeah, and what I think happened when Diego got the news. You remember those videos, like you see these videos of this guy in a computer, like a kiosk, and he starts hitting the CRT, and he starts beating the CRT around, and then throws it on the floor and smashes the keyboard and just completely freaks out. Goes totally postal on the. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, I like totally going postal. I definitely know that video because it's been around. I don't know for how long because it's a CRT.
Classic, you guys.
Yeah, it's a super classic. It's a super classic. Definitely. So Fafcow, have fun with that humble bundle. Sadly, like I said before, we're not able to raffle things beyond the Discord. Which is a reason to join us directly on Discord and not watch it over MSP Waves on Twitch or on DLive or... No, I think this is the 2 options that we're currently having. Nevertheless, if you're watching right now there, be welcome to the show. I sadly cannot see you, so I cannot greet you personally, but we are happy that you're around. Yeah, and that's exactly the GIF that we thought. Or that I thought about. I think there are a lot of them. And it's a classic. It's a super classic. Okay. Thanks a lot for the raffling. Bucky, you will be back later on in the second part of the show and doing an additional raffle. Can you tell already what's going to be the price of this? Or is this too much of... I want to create tension.
The next one is an e-learning bundle, again from Humble Bundle, but it's an e-learning one. I'm not exactly sure. I'll post up the link shortly, and we can see what the next one is going to be about.
Okay, perfect. So be ready. It's going to be again a Humble Bundle. This is really ridiculously hard to pronounce, at least for me, and obviously for Bucky as well. How about you, Ilana? Can you pronounce Humble Bundle without?
Humble Bundle Raffle. Humble Bundle Raffle.
Oh, you can do that.
Try it.
Humble Bundle Raffle. It's then I'm in this broad face state of things, where it's strange. It's really hard to pronounce. But let's not go about my German pronunciation because obviously I got neither a British nor an American accent. but I get, let's say, a cent for the European one. But I'm trying to do my best so that you can understand me. And I'm not trying to sound British or American, which is obviously something I cannot do. So, as a second guest, we are having live on the show AG. I knew that I wouldn't remember, but he's now here.
RG.
It was so close. Yeah. It was so damn close. RG. Hey, RG, how you doing?
You can call me however you want. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, no. I don't want to call you however I want. I want to call you by your name, which is obviously RG, but the damn crap I couldn't remember. And, by the way, I'm quite happy that I didn't go down the F-bomb road now, because I was close to, but I didn't, which is kind of cool, because I have a bet going on with Ilana that I will be the first one today to drop the quantum F-bomb. I won't.
You will.
I was already almost there.
Keep drinking.
Yeah, and
Just keep drinking.
The bad thing is my bombers. I don't know if I can make advertisement because I'm not paid by bombers. So it's already empty. But still, I won't go down that road. So 8, and again I forgot it. I always want to say RG.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Slowly. You know I'm old and.
Can you say Arju? You cannot say that.
Arju? For sure I can.
This is the real pronunciation.
Arju?
But for foreigners.
Okay. Understood. Arju. So can I ask as well out of which language this is? So only for.
It is Turkish.
Okay. Arju.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm doing my best. I cannot promise that it will work out in every time. Yeah, Ron, you know, I thought something like that, but if I would have said that, Ilana would directly go at me. Therefore I'm not. Aren't you? So
That's me. I'm your Jew. What up?
What up? Nothing's up. Oh, cool. So, Arju, we are talking about Hede.io, which is what exactly? So, just tell me what this is what it's doing, and what it's currently, where the status is.
It is a wiki running on top of Steam blockchain, but we have two things about Hede. One is a wiki platform, and the other one is Hede.io, the front end, which is a personal knowledge sharing dictionary, as we call. It is something like it's a personal knowledge. People share personal knowledge. That means they share their observations, experiences, and opinions about topics in a wiki way, wiki-like topics. So people define anything they want around them and give information or their opinions. So I want to start from scratch to tell about the project. We are an open source. Yeah, could you understand that when I say it's a knowledge sharing dictionary?
Yeah, I think yes. Yeah. Because
what you do.
I just have posted the link again so that everybody is able to directly see what we are talking about. But it's directly integrated into the Steam blockchain. Or am I reading something wrong?
Yeah, it is. It runs on Steam blockchain. Mm-hmm. The things people write are stored on Steam blockchain, and they can be rewarded with upvotes and earn cryptocurrency like other Steam apps.
Okay, so it's basically an additional front end that you created, having this possibility to act as a social knowledge sharing.
Knowledge sharing dictionary. Yeah, it's a dictionary actually.
Exactly.
That you share. For now, we are an open source project. We have been accepted at the Utopian VIPO list and the foundation project as a foundation project. So I want to thank to all of them, the Utopian team and the foundation team, for accepting us to be part of this, to benefit from their rewards.
Well, definitely, because you're doing great work, and it's already a product. So it's for sure not perfect yet, but it's already working. And you have had a user test with, I think, the Turkish and the Filipino community, or am I wrong?
Yeah, we started with Turkish once because you may not know, but in Turkey, this concept is very popular, the dictionaries.
Okay.
People use these websites to share their knowledge in different topics, and you can easily access them whenever you want. So it's like Twitter, it's like blogging, it's like wiki combined, but it has its own community guidelines, the posting guidelines. So we all use these websites to get information instead of Wikipedia, because these are very personal knowledge. I mean, the experiences, the observations of people. It's a pre-processed information, so we prefer that. Anyway, so we started with Turkish community because they know the concept. So then we went with Philippines, then Venezuela, Nigeria, and Indonesian community now. Slowly we have new authors, new users. So it's like a wiki. It's the aim is knowledge base, but we don't have a ability to edit others' posts. So what we do is adding new posts, new entries to the topics. So everybody has their own entry in the topic. If they want to say something otherwise to another user, they can add their own entry, or they can add new information and opinions, like other wikis, but we let them add new posts, not edit. So, you would ask something, I guess.
Yeah, well, basically a lot of things. But how did this project start? Was it just in your mind directly that you have to do something like this, or is it because this kind of concept is quite common in Turkey and maybe not in the rest of the world?
Yeah, exactly right. This is a very common concept in Turkey and not known in other parts of the world. And every Turkish person wants to make the international one of this concept, because this concept actually has been started with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the guide that every information can be found. This is the really this one has led this concept. And we have been using it for last 20 years. It hasn't lost its popularity yet. So it's a very nice knowledge base. You don't get the only objective information. I think they are boring. When you want to learn something in a fast way, what do? You Google it, and then maybe look in the first paragraph of Wikipedia, then go back and look at Reddit. You search on Reddit, then you search on Quora or Twitter maybe, because you want not just the information, you want the processed information, you want opinions or observations people made in their life, instead of the scientific knowledge that is proven.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So for sure, having scientific knowledge and having a Wikipedia where you can really read upon the science way of things without very formal and very very without any opinions in it is the one thing. But then you have the other, and I understood it to be that way, that you have more thoughts in and yeah, I'm taking what Raj just said. It's like informal Wikipedia with sincere thoughts in shorter entries, which is quite sounding very appealing, because Wikipedia is quite, it's not boring, but it's like, yeah, the basic all the facts and not no spice in it. So great, this is really a cool project. Are you going now to onboard the communities one by one? Because I already see that there are some English articles in as well currently.
Yeah, we have like 1,000 topics from English, I guess. Yeah, you can, if you can open now the website. On the left,
I'm having it open.
You see the latest topics that have been updated. You can select English there. Yes, there are agriculturists. The first one, the homeless. Yeah, grave. Grave.
That's very cool, actually. This is really working.
Yeah, you can also you see some user wrote about a boat, Kaluna boat, and we are more laid back instead of Wikipedia. We are more personal observation based. So yeah, in English, yeah, it's more a little formal, but in other languages, maybe Turkish, we are more laid back. Yeah, you can read. For example, there is a topic for Didik, the Ethiopian moderator.
Oh, really? I need to see that.
Send it.
What have you done, Didik?
Yeah, you can start a topic for anything in the universe and write whatever you want. By the first aim is giving information and sharing observations, not what you did or not what you love, like you do in blogs. This is for the first aim is sharing knowledge, because I think that the blogs are very noisy places, noisy piece of writings, that a very lengthy blog post can be summarized in 2 sentences. We read too much, and today's world we need shorter things to read to get the information.
Yeah, definitely. And if I would have seen this article about Didik, I don't know if this is, by the way, pronounced Didik or not, but I'm just pronouncing it that way now.
His last name is Hanoch. That's Didi's last name. Mm-hmm. It starts with a C. Mm-hmm. So it's DDC. But you can call him Didik. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, Hanoch, I for sure can never pronounce.
Bless you. Yes, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, bless me. Well, if I would have seen that, starts with a C and ends with a hairball.
Bucky, you just won the day. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, Bucky.
It's a lot of Hebrew last names are like that. A lot of people think it's Chanoch, I think. I actually heard Didi say Chanoch once when trying to get someone to find his name on a list. I think it was at a press conference we were together, and he kept saying his last name, Chanoch, and then they're like looking at him funny, so said Chanoch, and I thought I thought it was really, really funny.
Yeah, most likely it was. So yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that again. So it's Didik. If I would have seen this article about you, I would have really voted it, but I didn't. That's a bad thing. And it's already 7 days ago, so maybe I cannot do anything about it. Well, but this is great. This is really cool. And so you can have short information bits thrown into hede.io. So is this the look and feel like it's going to be later on, or are you still working on the front end as well?
Yeah, I constantly change the front end, update the front end, so we can have different colors. in the feature, but the basic layout is very actually simple. I don't know how to more change more, but yeah, we will change it according to users' request, because we had many changes before with the polls. The users wanted the features or changing in themes, the colors. So yeah, we did. So we can do in the future too.
No, it's just, for God's sake, it's looking cool, and you don't need to change it. It's just that I wanted to see what plans you got for the future. Is there a kind of roadmap that you still have bits that you want to develop, that you have, I don't know, things you want to integrate into header.io, or if you are right now in a status where you're saying, yeah, it's working cool, and I'm just going to leave it like this and see how it's turning out and what the community says,
Yeah, right. The community decides actually, because I should do what they like to make them use the website. But we have too many features to be added actually there on the roadmap. Yeah, for example, you can search in topic in the feature, because if we have many entries per topic, we will need filtering out them. Well, we will see. The first aim is to build the community slowly, and having great learning cultures from different people, and also learning from them the details in life that we haven't seen before.
No,
and
this is really cool, and it's linking a bit cultures. It could at least possibly serve.
Yeah, you can see some topics from Indonesian people. They talk about their cultures, their traditions, and also Philippines. There are many Philippines words, slang words, that when you go Philippines you can use header, because we have some users sharing. You can see on the left there are some words. Click on them. Anyway, we are trying to build a knowledge base for humans. We want to have many users until we can afford them. For now, it's hard to afford them, because we also work on the software side, also the building the community. We have community helpers that help us for each country. So we are very slow, but we are going very strong, I guess.
Yeah, one step at a time. Don't make too many moves at once. One step at a time. So, are there any plans? What community do you want to include next?
Let me check. We got, and I don't know. Maybe South Korea, but yeah, we get the actually the communities that we can afford. I have to admit that we cannot go the very first world countries directly. So also Turkey is also in the stage of economic crisis, you may know. So
Yeah,
it is for easier for us to afford this. Maybe in the future, if we can get more delegations, if we can get, then we can take all other countries, more countries that having developed economy. But for now, I really don't know. Because some author comes and he has a friend from other community. Then we try to get a community helper for that community. Then build slowly. It always has been by chance until now. We didn't aim If we aim like this, we cannot have a success, as I see, because people should like it first. All of the authors are people from communities that saw the website by chance and liked the concept and started using it.
So this is possible, yeah. So
when we try to say,
so if we are now saying to everyone that's listening to this currently and in the recording and everything to use headed.io, this will be okay, yeah.
Yeah, they will not, I guess, use when we say, when we tell them to use. They should find by chance mostly.
Yeah.
That's the only month of word, they say. Word of mouth, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Word of mouth is always the best thing. For sure, this is a very probable way to go. And if you need help, I in promoting things once you're ready, I think Ilana is more than happy to at least give advice or even help directly by herself. On the other hand side, she's super busy, but for sure she can't resist a marketing action normally.
Did someone say marketing?
Yes, I.
Someone said marketing?
Yeah,
okay,
it was me.
I'm gonna back to
I just said that if ever Headed.io wants to go market it big time, for sure they need to call out to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also we have some competitors actually, mostly Wikipedia type competitors. For example, Everypedia. There is, maybe you have known this. So Everypedia, this is based on EOS blockchain.
Oh no, I don't know that.
This
I actually heard about it. I heard about it. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, has been started because Wikipedia is deleting 99% of new topics that is started. So they wanted to make a Wikipedia clone, but it's based on blockchain. They reward the contributors, and also you can start as many kind of topics like YouTube influencers or Instagram users maybe. So they don't have limit, but we more free Wikipedia about the topics, because you can start a topic for any nickname, a username on. It doesn't need to be a famous person.
That's true.
Yeah, you will may think that how we will organize too many things that doesn't need to be shown. But yeah, we have tags, Steam tags, to get machine learning run on them. So we are more structured than any other week. You can start any non-existing thing in the world. Maybe you want a term to be a real thing, and you can start that topic and give information of that. We don't have limits. Anyway.
Yeah, perfect. This really sounds like a cool project that we definitely need to have on the radar, because or on the radar more than under it, because it will be cool to see how this is going to develop and if things are really going to that way. So like I said, Bucky just had a challenge to everyone in the audience to go to headed.io and make an entry. And he wanted to write about my hairstyling, which is, I don't know, I'm just having short hair currently. I just took a look at the video, so but it's okay. Ilana, you should write about hummus. I don't know if this is perfectly pronounced or not, which is a dish, obviously, in Israel.
It's a very common Vietnamese Middle Eastern dish that is made of chickpeas. Basically, they cook chickpeas and then make them into a kind of like a mush with olive oil and spices, and it's really healthy, and a lot of vegans basically live on that.
Okay, So thanks a lot for this cooking recipe that you already that you shared with us as well. We're not only an open source show; we can cook, we can do everything. Just like
Did we talk about open source food a while ago?
yeah,
I'm
we
pretty
did.
sure open source alcohol and open source food. Yeah,
We did.
definitely.
Great. So, crap. I shouldn't drink too much cider once while we're doing the show, because I again cannot remember how the pronunciation was. Was it Arju?
Arju.
It was not too bad.
Always,
It was not too bad. Arju? Archie?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, Bucky, for helping me or trying to help me. But I cannot be helped. I'm way beyond helping. Thanks a lot, Arju, for showing us this great project of yours. Definitely, I will be there and write 1 or 2 articles on header.io about something. I don't know. I need to think about something from Bucky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to pick the topic. Just look at.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having this great project. I hope to see much more of it on Steam, on the Steam blockchain, as well as directly on header.io. Thanks for this development, and thanks for contributing open source to all of us. And we're happy to support. Utopian is always happy to support cool contributions like that.
Thank you for making me a guest here. Also, again, I want to thank Utopian, Diego, and the moderators. All of the moderators, actually. I don't want to name. Didik, Espam, Roj, Knowledge, and takes a lot, maybe. Which ones?
That's a great great guys.
And thank you all for supporting us.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for telling us about this great project by yourself. And for sure, this was not the last time that you have been around. Thanks a lot, and greetings to Turkey. I think you're in Turkey now.
Yeah, I'm currently in Turkey. Sometimes I travel to the other countries. I don't know now. I don't have a plan now. Actually, this is one of the reasons I started this project, to learn the cultures, like couch surfing. When you use it,
yeah, sure,
you learn the culture better from local people. So I wanted to make this cultural learning application before going there.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks a lot for being here, and have a nice evening.
You too.
So, my dear Ilana, after this very interesting conversation about knowledge I always read knowledge's name, smiles at all, and when I'm talking about knowledge, after having this very important project presented to us about knowledge and the way to share it, the modern way to share knowledge amongst us all, it's time for you to share some open source knowledge with us. What's up out there that we didn't talk about? There was something about SpaceX.
Yes, I was just about to talk about that. I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago. We had NASA's rover, which was really cool. And now, and last week, definitely last week, there was some Tesla software going open source. And this is one of the most popular repositories in the past week, which is the repository for SpaceX, the SpaceX API. It has the API for the rocket, core, capsule, pad, and launch data. So that's pretty interesting. I would not even know how to.
That's extremely interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
I'm super, sucked into that thing. I once I read this yesterday, I think, or the day before. I think it was yesterday. I directly went there and looked at the code and thought about, hey, what rockets can I start with that?
So basically, we're starting a utopian colony, right? That's the goal now?
Yeah, I don't know. This is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, let's use that and just basically start a utopian colony on Mars. Have an open source colony. Maybe we can fund it through Fundition. Yeah, I think that could work. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, well, just I don't know, launch Diego up to space. You know?
You know, they keep saying they want cryptocurrencies to go to the moon. Let's just pass the moon, go
Yeah,
straight
maybe
to
we
Mars,
should go
leave them
there.
all behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, just leave all
definitely.
those. Yeah.
It definitely had to look
Lunatics
directly at the
behind.
code because this is amazing. I don't know if this is fake news or not. I couldn't find out up to now, but it's looking like legit, and it's I don't know how cool that is. It's impressive.
Yep.
You know?
Speaking of legit or not legit, there's a lot of discussion overall about security and safety in open source, because having open source applications is wonderful. On one hand, because you can build upon them, and improve them, and have the community contribute. But on the other hand, there's the other side, which is bad guys can see your code and figure out ways to abuse it. So there are always a lot of discussions about how to solve that and how to prevent that. One of the things recently released is the CERT division at Carnegie Mellon University released an open source tool for finding vulnerabilities in application source by using multiple tools. So I unfortunately don't understand enough about that, but I'm going to leave it for those who do in here. Yes, Bucky, I mentioned that before. You wrote that NASA released the open source plans to build the rover. Yes, they did. We mentioned that before. And Roger said, let's create a plan where proprietary software is forbidden. I don't think anything should be forbidden. I don't like forbidden. Forbidden is such a big and terrible word. How about discouraged? I'm going to go with discouraged. Two other interesting things is, I don't know if any of you listening are in the States, but there was an earthquake, I think last night or early this morning, off the, I think, west coast of the United States, which is interesting timing because another major organization joined IBM's Call for Code initiative, which is basically an international effort to develop open source tools for preventing, responding, and recovering from natural disasters such as earthquakes. So, and this is a big collaboration, has more than 35 organizations that have developers actively involved in creating these solutions. So that's pretty good. And the last thing, it's not directly related to open source, but sort of is. Valve, the company that has the other Steam with the A, you may have heard of it, with the computer games. They announced a new version of Steam Play that allows Linux gamers to enjoy Windows games on Linux. They're using something called Proton. It's a Wine-based project that allows Windows games to run on Linux. It's obviously open source, but I think it's pretty awesome because one of the reasons that back in the day I stuck with Windows was so that I could still play games, so that I could run my Steam client and use all my games. Now, in my the last time I changed computers, my excuse was different. I didn't install Linux because I'm lazy and I just, Windows is already there, it's already working. Why bother installing something else? But I think it's awesome that gradually Linux gaming is going to be an option. It's going to be an actual thing, because right now playing games on Linux is like, but gradually they're going to be gaming Linux rigs, and gamers are going to look at you funny. Why are you using Windows? It's wasting so much RAM. If you're a PC gamer, you should be using Linux. There will be gaming oriented Linux distributions. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Which is definitely making sense. But on the other hand side, it has been around, at least in computer gamers community, for quite a while. I can still remember when gaming on Linux was more than just a pain in the ass because it simply didn't work. Now it's a pain in the ass, but it works if you're really giving it a try. But yeah, we definitely
I think
need
with
to go.
Valve investing in streamlining it and making it a lot easier with Proton, I think that this is going to be, it's a major step forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Because again, if people don't install it because they're lazy. I remember that like on my old backup laptop, it took me like 2 hours to get Hearthstone to work through Wine, and I was like, ugh, that's such a headache. Why bother? You know, I'm just gonna boot into Windows and everything will work.
Yeah,
so
that's definitely.
I'm hoping there'll be a Linux for gamers.
Valve has quite a market position to a quite strong one. So if they really wanted to go there, for sure they can make it happen.
There is a Steam OS that is I think open source. Can it run on PC? I don't know. It's interesting to observe, I guess.
I don't know.
At this point.
There was a Steam OS, but I didn't follow up on it closely, so I
me neither.
Know.
Because I'm lazy. I just sit here with Windows and
same thing.
I used to game a lot more, but now.
I got my a lot of Linux machines to work on, and I got this Windows machine to play on. It's just has been that way since, I don't know, Windows is around with Windows for Workgroups or something like that. So it's quite long has been that way. So let's see. I definitely would want to get rid of that Windows machine. I don't need that for anything except to game. Okay, thanks a lot, Ilana, for this third. I think it was this third section of, or the third time that we have been talking about open source news for tonight. Bucky, you around for another raffle?
I am here.
Oh, great! You already thought about something to do for the raffle?
Well, yes, I have. And before I do, I say that a little while ago I took an old Apple MacBook that my wife had from 2006, and I just installed Linux Mint on it, and it works great.
I am more than just happy, Bucky. You're now. This is ridiculous. So is it working great?
It is. It's working fantastic. I got to say, it's great. Now I've used Linux a little over the years, but I like this one. I mean, it's brought new life to this laptop because it was you couldn't do any Apple updates on it, so there were security holes you could drive a truck through. But now it's nice and tidy and it's great. It works great. So yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. So you can get some life out of old hardware sometimes. It's not like you can get life out of every old hardware, but by installing Linux. But yeah, with
sure
Mint,
you can.
No,
sure you can. You got like minimalistic
but if it's crap,
versions of Ubuntu, they can write on like a Pentium 100.
If it's crap, it's crap. You can get out of most of old hardware still some life, like with Mint and Xface or some other lightweight Windows manager. And yeah, this takes up quite low resources, and you still can get squeeze some life out of your old and beloved hardware. It's not always the solution, but it can be one.
I just like being able to buck the Apple business model of having to continuously upgrade the machines.
Yeah,
the machine I'm talking to you on now is an early 2011 machine, and I produce TV shows on this thing, and it's early 2011. So I don't know, the tendency to throw out computers it's a pain. But now that being said, this is a MacBook Pro.
The bad thing is I cannot throw out computers, so I'm really, if I'm looking around in my office, it's it's an computer science guy's wet dream.
We actually donated the majority of our old hardware when we moved. So I currently only have my old desktop, which I need to have the power supply replaced, and then she should work again. The one that was killed by my cat pissing on it. And we also have another, that horrible cat. He now lives on the porch, so he can't kill any computers. and there is another desktop that I keep wanting to use as a media computer in the living room, and my significant others kind of mock me because you can just like buy a streamer for like $40 off AliExpress and just like save having to, and it like it's uses less power.
They are super cheap.
More, like,
they are so impressive.
So why
cheap.
bother? Why bother creating a media desktop if you could just do the same thing with a little Android streamer that uses less power and takes
I did
up
the
less
same
room.
thing. I have some old hardware downstairs as a media computer, and it's hilarious because obviously it's a real big thing. You know, it's quite bulky and bunky, and it's really huge, and you can do the same thing with, like, say, I don't know, a new Raspberry Pi 3 or something like that, which is maybe, I don't know, a 15th of the size.
I have a Pi 3 that's running the media on my living room TV.
It's perfect.
I have Pi's all over the house doing different things. Talk about vintage gear. I'm look right on my desk here in my studio beside me. I have an Apple IIe, which is still fully functional.
Oh well, that's vintage.
Wow.
Yeah, and I can play the audio, the tape deck files. I can import them from my laptop as MP3s or WAV files into the tape in, so I can load on any software I want onto the Apple II just by using the audio.
That's great. That's really great.
That's insane. I bet that does not get any more Apple software updates, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Probably a few security holes in it now, but you know what? I'm not running it on the internet.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Good.
Most likely.
Can it run on the internet?
I think you can. I'm sure somebody in the audience here would be able to jury rig it to work on the internet, but I don't know what you do. Maybe you could run Pine or something.
So before we're getting too down that road, too much down that road in talking about vintage hardware, because I could throw in a lot of things actually about vintage hardware. Let's go into the raffle section of the show.
Okay, so here's
because
the question.
We got Hilo waiting, you know.
Here's the question. If Ilana's cat was going to pee on something and ruin it, what would be the worst thing that Ilana's cat could pee on in her apartment?
God.
So type in your answer.
And
there's the raffle. You have 1 minute. 1 minute to type in your answer. If you're watching on Twitch or you're watching on DLive, you can pop over to the PAL Discord and come into the MSP channel, and you can type in your answer to qualify for the raffle. Headset while you're on your exit. Pillow, yes. I was thinking her hummus.
Yeah, that's true.
Cat piss in my hummus. That sounds awful.
It sounds like a name of a band.
Oh my God, it does. That's a horrible man. Cat piss in my hummus.
Grandma's teeth.
You're thinking really hard, Knowledges. Come on.
Oh my God, he's done that, Halo. He has done that. When we moved out of the old apartment, there were a couple of hidden corners that we found where the floor had actually changed color because I couldn't reach it. I could only smell it, and he peed there every time until like the floor tiles had changed. Color.
Raj has won.
Raj! Yay! Go for it. What again? What again? What's the prize?
I'll be in contact about the prizes, and a little later on after the show, and I'll send you links to how you can redeem your prizes.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Bucky, for being the lucky fee. You cannot say fee because fee is fee in German, but it's a fairy. You are the lucky fairy of the raffle bot. So thanks a lot for having this, Bucky. And now to some Canadian colleague of yours.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Canada!
Go Canada! Hilo, you're on.
Well, hello, A.
Hello, Hilo. It's been quite a long time that you have been waiting in the live on air room. So sorry for that. But we got 21 minutes to go.
Cool.
So we're happy to have you.
All right.
So you did change a bit of code from OBS, the famous OBS that I'm currently using to produce this show, by the way.
Yes.
And you have done what exactly?
Well, first I can tell you that's all your fault.
My fault? Why? What have I done?
Yes. 2 shows ago, you guys had a guest, right? About the new YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Jaime Danger was here.
That's right. And that gave me an idea. And I had been using OBS in the past. I remember to go live for broadcasting, I guess, the first ever Utopian meetup. And I remember I had that in the back of my mind to go and update and make a listing for it because, I noticed while I was entering the settings that it was all manual, but there were entries in there. So it was all about 2 weeks ago when you mentioned it. I said I just got to go and do it.
Yeah, perfect. And you already have this merged into the code, or how is this going to be like now?
Right. So I think version 22 is already released. So if you were to go and update and click a little check mark to see the extra listings, you would see that DTube is in there.
Oh, yeah, I cannot do that now because I think this would break something, you know. But I will definitely do this later on. And then you will have this in settings directly for if you go to streaming, no? Or have I understood something wrong?
No, you got it right. In my Steemit article, I do actually put a little picture of where the setting is, where the drop down, so that you could actually go and
just see this now. That's cool. Yeah. That's really great.
Yeah.
Have you talked to them directly for them to include this, or how did this work out with the OBS guys?
Well, it actually just started by a pull request. I went and forked the code, made the changes, saw how other people have done it in the past, and I've done the same thing, tried to follow the same conventions. Some of the fellows in there that do review the code had me check the submitting guidelines. So when you submit code to big projects, they often have guidelines of submission. So you have to, in this particular case, I had to rename the pull request. I had to change and update my commit message to submit to their format. And then it was reviewed and merged in. So I went.
Impressive.
Yeah, thank you. I went to talk to the team because they have a Discord channel as well. And I went to find them because I wanted to chat about, I guess, indeed trying to find out how many downloads there were. Because I know, OBS to be a very powerful program and very well used. And I was just curious. So we, through a discussion in their channel with Jim and some of the other people who are developers in there, pointed me to the right direction, the stats that can be found. And again, those stats are available in my post.
Yeah.
And you can click on it, and then the download stats will be updated and you can see the stats for all the different versions they had. So they were telling me about 9 million downloads for their last release, and their last release was over 3 months. So it was spanning a 3-month span. So it was 3 million downloads per month for this, which they told me was a small release.
Okay, that's quite amazing, isn't it? Well,
yeah,
it's an impressive tool, actually. I'm using it for quite a while now, and I think I do not know, let's say, 20% of the possibilities and the options that you have. So
yeah,
it's real feature rich and it's super cool. And now it's got the possibility to directly stream to DTube, which is amazing. So
yes.
Thanks a lot for that. But that's not the only thing that you have been doing.
Yes, I've been moderating Utopian posts as well. And for a while, I've been I've made my first post on Utopian 9 months ago, and then a month later, I became a moderator with people might remember MKT, which is Marcus.
Oh yeah, I do,
And
definitely.
It's a very cool guy.
We had him on the show, I don't know, quite in the beginnings with his magic frog, didn't we, Bucky? I think we did, yeah, like for short, but only 5 minutes, and he wanted to pack all informations in a very short time frame, because I think that was when we only had the 1 hour show, and it was super tight and everything was kind of, hectic. So maybe we should get him another time. Bucky, make yourself a note on the list, please. Okay, sorry, Hilo. Yeah, you're doing the Magic Frog with MKT, and you're doing it in French, I think.
That's right. So I started by doing the internalization. Wow, making the project international so that we can.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so we can have many languages in the project. Then I made the translation to the French.
And in very short, what's the frog about?
Well, it's I guess community storytelling. So you would just read the little story, and it's about 145 characters long, and then you would propose the next chapter, if you will. And many other people will. And then along curation, other people will then vote which one they like most. And the one with most votes will win that particular day. And next day, it will be added on to the full story. So we're at story number 3 now on the French side. And
how is it running? Is it running good on the French side?
It is. Very well so. I'm part of, I guess, I live in Quebec, and I've been involved in the French community of STEAM here, and from France as well, in some of the connections I have over there. And people are contributing almost every day. And so I think this is a very cool way to use the STEAM blockchain, because there are ways to reward everyone through this. We ask for delegation, and then we reward people at the end of the story for the delegation. We ask for people to curate, and then therefore vote on the best story, and they get rewarded at the end of the story for that as well. As long as
what's Grim hinting at, Hilo? She wants to squish your faces. Hey, Grim.
Oh, I guess someone's coming here. Well, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously.
Crimson Clanwet was here last a few months ago. I had the pleasure of meeting her.
Well, a pleasure that I didn't have up to now, but maybe it's working out in Krakow. Let's see. Yeah, so the Magic Frog, it's a cool project, yes. And it's running, I don't know in how many languages now, in 4, I think, English, German?
That's right. So I just helped onboard our Portuguese Brazilian friends, which they are in attendance today, and they started they did the translation, and they have started the story and promoting it throughout their community. So I think this is a little success story, and trying to get people to write every day, to be creative, and to be rewarded for being creative. It's an introduction, I guess, to the spirit of STEAM. That's how I see it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like it's a community thing, You don't know where the story goes. You can say, okay, this is how I think the story should go on, and then people are voting in the end how the story is really going onwards, and you can have a lot of fun. This is sounding really great. Oh, and there you see the Portuguese one. As well, but even the Magic Frog and everything, and the OBS code and the developments you made there, it's not everything. We have seen Favcow posting also the direct possibility to vote you as a witness, which is your personal witness, no?
Yes, that's right. So
if you like things, if you like the things that Hilo is doing for the Steam blockchain, which I definitely do, then this is an easy possibility to click on this link that FevCow just gave to all of us in the Steam, in the Discord on MSP Waves audience, and say yes. It's basically a Steam Connect link that directly makes it possible to vote for you as a witness. So what is your rank currently?
I'm in 108, something like that.
108.
So, yeah.
Oh well, there's room to improve, no?
Oh yeah, totally. It's I've been maintaining the Utopian witness servers as well, and I'm proud to see. I think they are on number 23, I believe.
Yeah, it's going upwards for Utopian, and you just got my vote.
Oh wow!
Which is not worth, I don't know, millions, but it's more for the
every word vote counts, and that's it's a bit funny. We're kind of becoming witnesses, are politicians of our era, of the decentralized world, and this, you have to be technically inclined to know how to manage these things, but you also have to be a very, I guess, approachable and likable person, I guess, so that because you'll need to go and talk to people and get their votes. And I guess most importantly, you have to have and get yourself an angle on how you are promoting Steam and getting and advancing Steam.
Definitely. And you see, what's always surprising for me is how few witnesses we do have on the Steam blockchain. It's not many. It's, I don't know, let's say 200 maximum that are currently up and running, which is not a huge number, is it? It's quite a low number. So, and it depends, or a lot of things are depending on these witnesses. So we all really should dash out all our 30 votes that we are having to support the witnesses that we want to be running the show. It's super important, and this is what we have to do in these decentralized times. This is what I just took over from you.
No, it's you're totally right. It is the witness that makes the blockchain run, and it's very costly to run the servers in themselves, and not only in hardware but also in time to keep up. And so that's so I guess that's a bit why perhaps there are only 150. The hardware requirements are really big.
Yeah, and they're rising and rising because in the end you have to keep the blockchain directly into the RAM, and as the Steam blockchain is one of the fastest growing blockchains, this is quite complicated. I don't know, where is it currently from the RAM size? What do you need to have? 256?
No, not yet. We're a bit past 64.
Okay.
Yeah, or in that range. It all depends on what kind of services you run.
Yeah, true as well.
Because if you want to be a full node, then yeah,
if you want to be full node, I think we are even past 256, but I don't know for sure. So it's quite costly, and it's quite technically challenging at times, because sometimes this is all cutting edge programming. Well, it's not cutting edge programming like this is all geniuses working on it, but it's new, and it isn't tested out in I don't know how many years long tests, but it's quite new, and you need to see how you can get your head around it to work. Thanks a lot, Hilo, for all that information. And have you seen Bucky? He's directly asked the question to you. He said, Hilo, from the point of view of a witness, I cannot even read any longer. Do you have any thoughts on Hard Fork 20?
It's a long time coming. it's yeah, there's a lot, but still probably not enough. Um, Although Steam Inc. is working hard, I guess, to bring. I guess we've been hearing a lot about smart media tokens, and this is coming in 2019, or maybe even later. At least we have a date, and
Yeah,
that's
we have
good.
a date. It's March, but you never know, you know.
Yes, yes, indeed. And we do have a date for the hard fork, hard fork 20, which is awesome as well. And one of the first thing I was planning to do when I became a witness, and I was approaching other people, other witnesses who have big votes, they, came to mind that we should do some code review of the hard fork 20 with other programming witnesses. Uh, so I will probably be initiating that, since now we have a date and see what the code looks like.
Yeah, well, they are really working hard on it. The bad thing, or the bit disappointing thing, is that they have been talking about the smart media tokens for a year now. I think the announcement came out somewhen. Maybe it was September last year. Maybe it was even October, but no later. And now it's quite a long time to go in the blockchain market. 1.5 years developing things. So
yes.
Yeah,
I was a bit disappointed, and I really thought this would have been the coup de grace to do it before EOS comes out. But that's no longer the case. So we'll see how that comes out.
Yeah, definitely. And Didic, I seriously don't understand. Maybe I don't understand the question you're hinting at. You wouldn't mind an answer on buckydurddle's question from Krim as well.
He wants to know what Krim thinks about hard fork 20.
Ah, okay.
We should have Krim on this show. Just saying.
Yeah, Krim would always be very, very welcome on the show, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's going to write something, obviously, right now. Hilo, anything else before this show runs against the walls of time that you wanted us to know? What you're doing currently, or how we can support you, or what you have been planning to do in the future?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'll be moderating. I'll be making new contributions. That's what I'd love to do. That's what I do, and I like to do more of what I love. What I would encourage you to do is to go and contribute to the Magic Frog and add your thoughts and ideas about how you think the story should go on. Of course, one of my posts I put it out earlier was about how it is a good thing to practice our second languages and the best way to learn and to keep reminding ourselves about these skills is to practice. So I suggest if you guys know German or English or French or now Portuguese, to go and try and add to the stories, even though those are not your primary languages. But keep your language skills sharp by practicing.
Yeah, well, this is great, actually. And it helps getting into the community, maybe of a language that isn't your first language. Like English is not my first language, obviously, as you can all hear. And I think yours as well is French, no, Hilo?
That's right, yes, indeed.
You're almost perfect in English, but you're sounding a bit Frenchy to me.
Yes, indeed. One of the projects I want to do this year is to go and approach a school, a classroom of young children, and then get them accounts on Steam and get them contributing to the frog. And so it's...
That would be perfect. Please let us know about this.
I will do that.
Can we have a PG-13 version of Steam? Because the Steam blockchain is not that child-friendly. Let's not fool ourselves. We need like a PG-13.
Which is
Steam
something
Junior.
that we could do. By the way, we are 1 minute and a bit out, I think. Out. I'm trying to pronounce this like out, like Bucky now.
Like Bucky.
And Hilo, thanks a lot for you being around. We are hitting the wall of time quite soon, so I would like to take the time to thank to the audience and Ilana and Bucky and all my guests. Erchu, I forgot how to pronounce it, and Diego was was informing us about the future of Utopian Hilo, talking about his development and his witness actions and everything. And thanks a lot to all the audience out there that have been talking with us, watching us, feeling with us. So it was really funny to have you all in the show.